Welcome to installing Unified Contact Center Express 7 in VMware. My name is Tanner Ezel. We're going to go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is set up our VM. Now, as you're going through this video, you're going to notice that the date and times are somewhat out of sync, and that's because some of these parts were recorded at different times and then chopped into one video later. As far as installing Unified Contact Center 7 Express, it has two major requirements, and like most Cisco products when running in VMware or installing into production, they require that you have 72 gigabytes of hard drive space and 2 gigabytes of RAM. Now the RAM limitation sometimes, depending on the product, can be lowered to 1 gig, but usually it's 2. Because Unified Contact Center 7 Express is a Windows-based product, we're going to configure the virtual machine just like we would a standard Windows 2003 Enterprise box. Again, the things we want to note here are we want 2 gigabytes of RAM and 72 gigabytes of hard drive space. Now there is a way to get around this, but we're not going to go ahead and go over that because, as you'll see when running, it needs all those resources. For management purposes, I install Real VNC Server on pretty much all my Windows-based VMs, especially ones like this. And so what you'll see here is I have used, I'm on a Mac, so I'm using Chicken of the VNC, which you can get at their webpage, to go ahead and remote in. The installation is pretty basic, and I'm only putting it here to get people somewhat comfortable with it when they actually go through it, so they have a somewhat visual blueprint of what they're going to see. Just go ahead and select the language, E for English, and you can select yours, whatever that may be. Click next. It's going to take a while. Alright, and we're off. I'm going to go ahead and set the video to go at about 2000%, the normal rate of time. Feel free to take a break. It takes about 20 minutes for this to complete. And we're back to real time. Go ahead and reboot the server, and in the meantime we're going to get our call manager set up. Go ahead and log into your Unified Communications Manager. We're going ahead with the premise that you've already set yours up, being installed and whatnot. What we're going to do here is set up a user group that we're going to assign to an application user. So go to User Management and User Group, and we're going to go ahead and just add a new one. I'm going to title this Standard AXL Admin. Just go ahead and hit save. Alright, so go to the top right, related links, go to add a role to this user group. Hit OK, or go rather. Add a role to group, and we're just going to search through. We're going to filter out what we want. We want AXL, so go ahead and enter that in. Select the box and add selected. Do it again. This time we're going to add standard CTI enabled. There's a couple CTI roles that you'll see. We just want the CTI enabled. Again, click that and go ahead and hit add selected. Save the changes we made, and we can go ahead and proceed with our application user. Now you'll see by default this is pretty much a clean call manager install. There's nothing really there. So hit add new, and I'm just going to name this UCCX admin. Now you do need a password here, even though call manager is not saying that it's required. It is for UCCX, so put a password in there. And we're going to add the user group that we created. You'll see right there, standard AXL admin. Select it and hit add selected. Save the changes. Alright, so the other thing we need to set up are the services. For Contact Center Express, we need two services, CTI Manager and AXL Web Access, I believe is what it calls. So go to Serviceability Tools. I'm just going to go ahead and show you the control center for features. And you'll see here AXL Web Service is not running. It's deactivated currently. Scroll down and Cisco CTI Manager also not running and deactivated. So we're going to need to get those up and running. So go to your Tools, Service Activation. And you'll see if you scroll down a little bit, of course if you have multiple servers, make sure you're on the right one. Cisco CTI Manager. Now what this is saying is that in order for CTI Manager to be running, you have to have the call manager process running, so it'll automatically select that, as you can see above. Scroll down to the Cisco AXL Web Service, check the box, and you're pretty much done here. So go to the top or bottom you choose, hit save. Just a little warning that it'll take a while, not a problem. Hit OK. Alright, now that that's reloaded, we can go ahead and check the services. Activated, and currently says deactivating. That's okay, just go ahead to the top, hit refresh. No doubt that process is still just booting up. Check it again. And activate it, so perfect. Go ahead and go back to your control center. Again, that's a tool, control center, feature services. And we're checking for the AXL, which is now started and activated. So scroll down and we're looking for CTI Manager. There it is. Again, started and activated. Alright, so we're going to log into our Contact Center Express for the first time so we can configure it. The default user account and password is at the bottom. That's just administrator and Cisco. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hit a single node install. If you were doing a whole cluster, you could choose those options appropriately. Here we're going to put in the IP address of our call manager, the application user, and the password. Once we hit next, it's going to go ahead and verify that it can log into the call manager. And as soon as that's done, it should prompt us for the license, so hit browse and just go ahead and select your license file. Alright, so we see the license uploaded fine. Go ahead and hit next. What's going to happen now is all those Windows services and backend services are going to go ahead and activate. This takes a minute, so if you want to take a quick break, feel free. And go ahead and hit next now. So at this point, you'll see our call manager and the application user we added at the start of the configuration. We're going to do somewhat of the same for these next two fields. And this first one is the telephony subsystem, and the next one's the RMCM system. So enter in any username that you'd like. It's going to be created to the call manager, so again, make sure it's not something that's already used, and don't use administrator here. We've seen this in production environments where things have gone bad and the actual administrator account has been deleted because someone went into contact center and messed around with it. So don't do that. Again, name it whatever you want, just don't name it administrator. Give it a password. And for the NTP, I put my call manager, but it's not really going to do any good. You can put local host or whatever you want. Just go ahead and hit select next. Okay, so that's done. Go ahead and enter in your license information. This license I have allows 200 sessions, as well as 80 ports. Go ahead and hit next. I'm going to select English United States. You can select your local dialect if you want. And we're going to select our administrator account. Again, because I have a fresh call manager install, and I only have the one account I created. So I'm going to select it, hit next. View the log, make sure there's no errors. If there are, you're going to want to look into it. But as you can see here, everything installed just fine. So we're going to log back in with the administrator account we specified. And what we're going to do is make sure that our services are up and running. This is something, at least initially when you're installing Contact Center Express, that you may have problems with, and that's certain services not behaving properly. I'd like to blame it on Windows, but you never know. So go to System, top left, and Control Center. And you'll see here the status is partial service. Now that's not what we want. So if you scroll down the page, and you'll see where this little play kind of looking icon is, we want to see whatever's not play. Now we can ignore the CCX editor. We want to check out the engine. If you saw the highlight, it showed partial service. So the subsystem managers in partial service, highlight that and expand it. Go down. And what you'll see here is the unified CM telephony subsystem that is out of service. Now, if this is all you're seeing, that's fine. It's not a big deal. We can go ahead and fix that real quick. So what we're going to do is go back to the top, go to Subsystems, Unified CM Telephony, click on that. And what we're going to do is add a new Unified CM Telephony call control group. So hit the link. And you can see here, with this license, I have a license to use 150 ports. And that's just basically the amount of connections I can have between Contact Center and Call Manager. So for this example, I'm just going to create 10. Give it a starting directory number and a prefix name that'll show up when Contact Center is creating these. You can view these through Unified Communications Manager's phone page. Now I will show you a tip in a little bit about how to speed up this process, especially if you're adding a lot of ports. So the group's created. We're going to go back to our System Control Center. And there we go, in service. That's exactly what we wanted. Alright, so a special note for everyone installing in a vanilla Windows 2003 environment. You're going to see this error even after you apply the registry hack, which again is provided on my website, cisco.tanneryzell.com. What this basically is, as it says, the JTAPI client did not install. And the reason for that is there's a specific registry entry, and we're going to go to Start, Run, and just go ahead and open up the registry editor. Reg edit, if you didn't catch that. Go ahead and go to, well, we're just going to find. So go to find, and what we're looking for is a reference to WinNT. And the reason we are doing this is because Cisco OS 2003 uses C:\WinNT instead of the standard C:\Windows, which Windows 2003 by default does use. So we're going to search through the registry until we find, I can't remember the exact thing, it's com.cisco something or other. We might actually revise our search here. This isn't, no doubt there's a lot of WinNTs. Let's see. Yeah, so let's go ahead and we're going to search for C:\WinNT. And there we go. First one. Perfect. Change that to C:\Windows. And we're set to go. Now, a note, of course. I'm just going to search to make sure this is the only reference. I believe it is, but you never know. Note about Windows 2003 and Contact Center 7 Express. Don't do this in a production environment. You'll get absolutely zero support, and there's just really no reason to do this whatsoever. Again, only for a lab type environment, okay? So log back into Contact Center 7 Express, and what we're going to see is a pop-up that's going to give us a little bit of an error as soon as this loads. And again, this error is just because during the installation it was looking for that CWinNT folder. So we've gone ahead and again we've corrected that, changed the registry to C Windows. So we're going to hit OK here, go to Subsystems, and no, we're going to go to Subsystems Unified CM Telephony. And the bottom left you'll see Cisco JTAPI Resync. Click it. Hit OK and wait while it does its thing. And what it's doing now is it's more or less installing the JTAPI client from Communications Manager. So now that that is done, we're going to go ahead and restart the CCX engine. So you can go to System and then Control Panel to do that. And what you saw just there was a little bit of unsmooth editing by my part. Go ahead and scroll down. We're going to just select the radio box, which is to the left. Again, you can check out the subsystems. If you see this RMCM subsystem error, that's probably either an issue with your CTI manager or something else. I just want to note that when I made this particular screencast, I had not activated the CTI manager service, and that is why the RMCM subsystem is still down. If you have that activated, you won't get this error. So we're going to continue. Now that we have everything installed and ready to go, and we've checked that our services are in service, we're going to log back into our Contact Center 7 Express. And we're going to set up a test application just to make sure everything is working. So go to Applications, Application Management, select Add a New Application, just a Cisco script application. Next, you can name it whatever you like. I'm just going to do UCCX Test App, and we're going to use 10 sessions as the maximum. And we're selecting the AA script, which is just a basic auto attendant. Hit apply, and here it says it was created successfully. So what we need now is a trigger. Trigger sounds just basically what it is. It's the number you dial to activate the script. So just select next, and I'm going to do 2000 for this script. Give it a device name. Again, this is just UCCX Test App. Description. Trigger for the test app. And select the call control group. Now remember again, call control group is the link between Contact Center Express and Communications Manager. It uses CTI route points and things like that. I'll post more information about that at a later time. So we see that it's there. Go ahead and on our IP communicator, select, and we're just going to dial.
Attendant. To enter the phone number of the person you're trying to reach, press 1. To enter the name of the person you're trying to reach, press 2. To transfer to the operator, press 0.
See more at cisco.tanneryzell.com.